So I am making corn pudding, and this is a great side dish that has been a staple at our reunions, at any family dinners that we've always had. It's super easy to make, and just about anybody loves corn pudding, unless, of course, you just like to eat corn by itself or you don't like corn in things. So I'm going to get everything in the bowl. I'll tell you what my exact measurements are. It's been a while since I made it, so I had to call my mom and ask her about a couple things, confirm that with her. But I'm going to go ahead and get everything here in the bowl, and I'll tell you what that is. Okay, so the first thing that you want to add is your eggs and your sugar. So the recipe calls for 4 eggs, but I actually have, 6 eggs here because these eggs are kind of small. So what I'm going to do, instead of adding just 4 eggs because I have small eggs, I'm going to do 5 eggs and 1 egg yolk, just to make up for the size difference. Okay, so you want to whisk those eggs. Okay, so now you add 6 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, and then whisk that. Okay, so now I'm going to put in 1 can of evaporated milk. And you want to make sure that you do use evaporated milk and not just regular milk. And I gave that a shake before I stirred it. So I'll get that in there. Whisk that. It's really simple. Everything just goes in the same bowl. Easy to make. 2 cans of cream corn. So easy, but it tastes so good for such a simple recipe. And you add 1 can of just regular corn, drained. 1 can of regular corn drained. However, I had this really good corn in the freezer, and I wanted to use it instead of canned corn. Usually I do use canned corn, but I wanted to try this instead. So it's just 1 cup of frozen corn. So I'm going to add that. Okay, so just a recap of what I have in here. It's 4 eggs, 6 tablespoons of sugar, 2 cans of cream corn, 1 can of regular corn, or 1 cup of frozen corn. That's or. So if you don't use canned corn, drain, then you want to use 1 cup of frozen corn. I feel like I'm making this sound confusing, but, and then, 2 tablespoons of flour. I forgot to get my flour out here. So 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay, so I have everything in here but my butter. And just to show you, well, can't really, that's pointless. But anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in this pan. You cook it bake it. You bake it at 325 is what the recipe calls for, 325 for 45 minutes or until a knife comes out clean. Now, my oven heats doesn't heat as hot as regular oven, so I usually go 25 degrees up with my oven. So I'm going to be putting mine on 350 as opposed to 325. Now, if you have an oven that heats hotter, then you, of course, just stay at 325. So you want to spray your pan. And then just pour your mixture into your bowl or your pan. So easy. I really don't know why I don't make this more often, but it's just a simple, easy, and delicious, quick side dish. And so now I'm gonna add melted butter. So we'll heat this up in the microwave and then put it in here. Now, a lot of people have different recipes for corn pudding, and I've tasted other recipes for corn pudding, but this by far is my favorite corn pudding. I just think this is the perfect recipe, in my opinion. Okay, so this is my melted butter, and I'm just going to pour that in there. It's about half a stick of melted butter. And then you just got to give it a little stir. And you definitely want to put butter in here because that is just one of the things that makes it taste so good. Okay, so this is what it looks like before you put it in the oven. So here's the butter. Oh, this is so good. Such a tasty side dish. So now I'm gonna bake it for about 45 minutes at 350 on my oven, 325 on yours if you have one that heats hot. Okay, so it looks like my corn pudding is done. See, if you kind of shake it like that and it stays firm, that means it's done. Or you can put a knife right in the center of it there, and if it comes out clean, then it's done. So, and it's bubbling all around the sides. It's got a nice little golden area going on top. Right there. Get a close up. See how it gets a little golden there. So what you do is you let it sit here for about, you gotta let it rest, maybe about 20 minutes or so. And I ended up cooking mine for an hour at 350 in my oven. So, gonna let it rest here for a few minutes. Okay, I forgot to mention that I put some salt in there. You just want to put a dash of salt. I probably did about 1/4 of a teaspoon just to give it a little bit of taste. Doesn't take much, so just wanted to let y'all know that. Okay, so the corn pudding has rested. looks good. I'm about to dip some out. Oh wow, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Put it on my plate. See, and that's how it sets up, just like that. Oh, that looks so good. And of course, I'm gonna have to take a bite. So here's my nice little bite. My nice little bite of corn pudding. Looking scrumptious. It's a little hot. Ooh, that's good. Okay, so I wanted to do a recap of the recipe. It is 2 cans of cream corn, 1 can of regular corn drained. I used frozen corn instead, so I just used 1 cup. 4 large eggs, 1 can of evaporated milk, 6 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, a dash of salt, and half a stick of butter, half a stick of melted butter. And then you bake that at 325 for 45 minutes. However, on my oven, I baked mine at 350 for about an hour, or until a knife inserted in the middle comes out clean. And I believe that covered everything. I don't think I left anything out. If I did, then comment. Once again, I forgot to say, please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or tips, please let me know below in the comments. See you next time.